Hello, welcome to this movement class, which will be an exploration of flight, the fly. We're going to be drawing some inspiration from some of the birds and insects that I've been spending so much time with this summer, and going to be sharing with you some revelations that I have had about the energy practices and the ways that they let us shed what keeps us heavy, and how these practices help us develop and inspire that which propels us and lifts us and naturally takes us to our next incarnation, whatever that is. So I'd love for you to begin with me actually on your hands and your knees, and make sure you're comfortable enough on your hands and your knees to do some cats and cows without any pain or pressure in your knees. And so you might decide to put a blanket under there. And I want you to start to find the breath. And the breath is spacious. The breath is light. The breath is penetrating, right? So as you're doing these cats and cows, right? So you're rounding your spine and arching your spine. Really simple. As you're doing this, the main work you're doing is really connecting to your breath. If it helps you to make a sound or open your mouth, especially here at the beginning of class, use whatever little techniques you can to accentuate, to highlight this experience of breathing. Okay. You're going to do one or two more like that. Seeing if you can explore now new places in your body to feel that lightness, that spaciousness of your breath. And then go ahead and come to a neutral spine. And from your neutral spine, I want you to take your left foot back and position it on your mat, and just find that left foot back on your mat, and then just rock a little forward and back. And so what I'm doing here is I'm experiencing now breath in the back of my left leg, bottom of my left foot, seeing if I can breathe all the way down there. I'm also, as I rock forward and back, I'm feeling a little bit of stretch in my hands. Wherever you feel the stretch, breathe. Lightness, spaciousness. Okay, and then see what it's like now to pick up the left leg, but if it's made of breath, the left leg, just like it floats up. You can feel the back of the leg, those muscles becoming really light. Great. If this feels pretty good, see if you can now shift a little more weight into your left hand to the right arm, the opposite arm to the leg, reaches forward, and then just play a little bit with this balance. Breathe. You probably wobble. What's supporting you? What's light? What's heavy? What's heavy, send into the earth. Push it into the earth. So grow it rooted down rather than having it slump down, right? The roots, the heaviness actually promotes the lightness if we can work the two directions, down and up, okay? Now go ahead and I want you to take your left hand down. Slide your left knee now behind your right knee. And you're going to separate your shins enough that you can come back and sit toward a Gomukhasana seat. Now, some of you may want to take a block and just place it under your seat, and so you'll be sitting up higher. Some of you might feel pretty comfortable on the ground. I feel pretty comfortable on the ground, and I'll show you from this direction as well. There's not a lot of light in here at this moment. So hopefully you can see my right knee stacked on top of my left. Now from here, you could just root down into your hands, kind of press the hands down into the heels of your feet. drop the hips down and breathe deep breaths and just notice what's going on here. Now keep your left hand on your left foot or just on the mat next to your left foot, and then take your right arm alongside your ear. Yeah, so feel that stretch there. Now notice what's rooted and what's light. And then see if you can shift your chest open more to the sky. Good. If you want to move this arm now, right, we're going to be inspired by the birds. We're going to be learning how to grow wings and really make a lot of space in the upper body in these classes about flight. And so maybe you want to start to find some of that here. Now, if you're moving, really turn, like really tuck down as you turn to the left and really open as you turn to the right. And the whole time, the right hip and knee are dropping down. So you're also getting that stretch through the hip and the side waist. Do a couple more. Let's see if I can adjust. You can see me better. Even if I just come up a little bit. Okay. So we've done that for a little while. Now come on up to sit. And we're going to set up for a little twist. And so to set up for the twist, you might need to adjust the legs. You may even want to extend the bottom leg, but now the right foot is on the ground. You can either kind of hug this left knee in as you twist to the right. Your right hand could come behind you, maybe on a block. Or if you feel open enough and ready, you could slip that left arm outside of the right leg. But we're doing this nice little twist now. Breathe deeply. Really root down through your sits bones. Sometimes I even like to take my hand to the sacrum, that flat plate below my low back, and just kind of lengthen that in my first twist of my practice, just to make sure that that's really staying steady. Okay, find the breath again if you lost it. Big exhale. Beautiful. Now you're going to come back to center. Some of you might want a belt for what's next. You're actually going to take the left sole of the foot to the ground. That's that bottom foot. Right foot is going to extend. You could grab a hold of the foot or put a strap around the bottom of your foot, and you're going to take Heron Pose. Now watch how I kind of root down into my left foot and my sits bones, and then I can really extend the leg and extend my spine. My chest is open. 5 breaths here. Some of you may feel called to actually pull the leg toward you and possibly bring the head toward the shin. Breathing 2. Find the lightness and the spaciousness of your breath. Let it penetrate the areas that tend to feel dark or stagnant. Yeah, imagine you could be breathing through the leg like it's a tube, right? And you can exhale out of the foot. Okay, from here, you're just going to release that right foot to the ground, put the strap to the side if you have it, and actually come on up to a squat. The feet want to be nice and wide, the pelvis heavy, and the chest lifted for your squat. Just take a couple more breaths here to feel the squat, and can you feel the spaciousness of the heart? And then take your hands to the ground, and you'll walk your feet back and your hands forward until you find your way into downward facing dog. Take just a couple of breaths in this downward facing dog. And then make your way forward with your chest. Weight starts to come over the hands. And then how lightly can you deposit your knees down under your hips? And then how smoothly can you go into cow pose, lifting the chest? And then find cat pose, rounding the spine and tucking your chin. Come back into a neutral spine again. Pick up your right foot and step the right foot back in space. I've got my right foot back on the mat, my left knee's on the ground, and then I'm just going to rock a little bit. And I'm going to see how that feels, and I'm going to keep breathing. And I'm going to keep sending breath into the spaces where the breath wants to go. Now, engage your core, engage the back of your right leg, and see if you can just lift the right leg up as if it were made of breath, made of space and light. Great, and then shift a little more weight into your right hand and bring up the left arm. If this is really unstable, sometimes turning over the left toes, right, tucking them under the heel can be really helpful. Breathe and notice, how does this work? And then can you root down maybe through the right hand and left knee and let that actually increase the lightness in your back, your left arm, and your right leg. Breathing, breathing. And then go ahead and take the left hand down and slide the right knee behind the left. So this is where we set up for Gomukhasana. You'll need to separate the shins wide enough that you can come to sit down. And some of you will take the block and put it underneath your sits bones. See if I can at least get my legs in the light a little bit. You can kind of see here. Yeah, that's at least visual. So my left knee now is stacked on top of my right. You can fidget with where the shins are. Just be really mindful of the knees in this position. Being seated up higher helps. Okay. And then I'm going to take my both hands onto both heels, and I'm going to experience again how the lightness of the upper body depends on the heaviness of the lower body. When I surrender my knees and my hips and my heels down into the earth, I not only get a stretch in this area, I also find the ability to lift from pelvic floor, from belly, from heart, from crown. And then we'll keep the right hand where it is on the right heel and take the left arm alongside the ear and just feel. And breathe. Notice how the head and the neck are connected to the shoulders and the upper carriage of the body, and make sure that alignment feels right. And then spin the chest open a bit, and then we'll start to move the arm, most of us. If you've got something going on in your shoulder where that just does not feel right, you do your thing, right? The awareness inside the body is the most important part. But I would encourage you now that you're starting, if you are starting to move, to really kind of, it's like you're in a cat pose as you kind of curl down toward the right leg and foot. And then you're much more in that open heart toward the sky as you go over to the left, and just to explore that for yourself. There's so many tiny little spaces that probably want light inside your upper body, upper spine, chest. Okay. And then we're going to go ahead and come on up to sit and set this up as a twist. And so the bottom leg can adjust however it feels right. The left foot is now on the ground. Some of you may even extend that bottom leg. Root down through the sits bones, maybe even kind of rub your sacrum to get that nice and open. Right arm comes up, and you can either hold on to the left leg with the right arm, twisting to the left, or you could actually kind of shove the right arm outside of the leg to twist. See what feels right. Breathe deeply. Feel. Nice big exhale. Unwinding everything that keeps us heavy, keeps us stuck in the past. Come forward and set up this Heron Pose. So this is where you're going to take the right foot to the ground. You may have to kind of adjust on your sits bones. Oh, and some of you may have to take the block away. And then strap or hands around the left foot and extend the left leg. Breathe deeply for 1. Feel what needs to get rooted, and then feel what can lift and lighten. Work the breath. Some of you may Choose to bring the left shin closer toward the head. Breathe deep. 4, and 5. Then you're going to release that leg, and you're going to come up into a squat. And in this squat, we're actually going to do some breath work, clearing out what keeps us heavy and sticky in the lungs and the internal organs. If this position is not very comfortable for doing this, that's fine. Find a different position. The most important part is this getting the Kapalabhati breath right. And so take a big, big breath in, big breath out, and then a comfortable breath in, and we'll do short, sharp exhales out of the nose, pumping the breath. Keep it going, cleaning yourself out. Lightening the toxic load in your body so it doesn't have to constantly be trudging through all that stuff, right? A little bit more. Big vehement exhales so you can really clean it out. Okay, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All the breath out, 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 out. Big breath in, all the way in. Then a big breath out, and keep the breath out. So stay empty. Close up the bandhas, right? So engage pelvic floor, tuck your chin slightly. Trust the strength of your container and just relax. Soften the edges of your skin. No breath in quite yet. And when you really can't take it anymore, go ahead and lift the chin, hands on the ground, big breath in. And then straighten the legs and parallel the feet. Big breath out, hang over your legs. Maybe you shake your head out just a little bit here. You can rock a little side to side. We did some opening in the hips and the upper body already on the backs of the legs. So just kind of move around a little bit and explore those spaces. Feel them, breathe in and out of them. Then round your way up all the way to stand. And that concludes our just really short intro, really simple intro into the flight series. More is coming soon. I'm really craving more interaction with you guys right now. So if you are watching, just let me know for one, but definitely ask questions or make requests. I miss teaching in person, and I am doing a little bit of that coming up outside. But meanwhile, while we are connecting this way, I would love to make it feel a little bit more like it's in person. So that means I need to know you're out there. That's my big request. Okay. See you soon.